The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel Kolk is a profound exploration of the enduring impacts of trauma on individuals' lives and bodies. This book delves into the complex interplay between our experiences, our brains, and our physical selves, offering a comprehensive view of how trauma shapes our existence. Bessel Kolk, a pioneering researcher and clinician, has devoted his career to studying trauma. His extensive experience and empathetic approach make him uniquely qualified to discuss this sensitive topic. Kolk blends scientific research with real-life case studies to illustrate the often invisible effects of trauma. He argues that traumatic experiences can leave a lasting mark on our brains, nervous systems, and even our genes, influencing how we interact with the world. The book challenges traditional views on trauma treatment, emphasizing the need for holistic approaches that address both mind and body. Kolk's insights are crucial, not only for individuals dealing with personal trauma, but also for professionals in healthcare, psychology, and social work. In The Body Keeps the Score, Kolk invites readers to understand trauma not just as a psychological phenomenon, but as a lived experience that encompasses the entire being. This comprehensive approach offers hope and pathways to healing for those whose lives have been altered by traumatic experiences. The book stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the potential for recovery, making it a significant contribution to the field of trauma studies. The science of trauma. In The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel Kolk illuminates the profound impact trauma has on the human brain and body. This section of the book delves into the intricate ways in which traumatic experiences are encoded in the brain, influencing behavior, emotions, and physical health. Kolk meticulously details how trauma disrupts the brain's natural balance, leading to enduring changes in the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex, areas crucial for emotion regulation, memory, and executive functioning. The book emphasizes the role of the fight-or-flight response, a primitive survival mechanism that, while crucial in life-threatening situations, can become maladaptive when triggered repeatedly or inappropriately due to trauma. Kolk explains how this response, meant to protect us, can lead to a state of constant physiological arousal, manifesting in symptoms such as hypervigilance, anxiety, and irritability. This state, often accompanied by the numbing of emotions or dissociation, can severely impact a person's ability to engage with the world and form healthy relationships. Furthermore, Kolk explores the concept of body memory, proposing that traumatic experiences are stored not just in the brain, but also in the body. He discusses how people with trauma often experience unexplained physical symptoms, such as chronic pain, which may be manifestations of these traumatic memories. One of the groundbreaking aspects of Kolk's work is the emphasis on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and heal. He provides hope by illustrating that, through appropriate therapy and interventions, the brain can recover and rebuild, allowing individuals to move beyond their traumatic experiences. This section of the book also touches on the intergenerational transmission of trauma, suggesting that the effects of traumatic experiences can be passed down, impacting not just individuals, but also families and communities. Kolk's exploration of the science of trauma is both comprehensive and accessible. He combines empirical research with clinical insights, making a compelling case for a holistic understanding of trauma. By elucidating the biological underpinnings of trauma, he lays the foundation for discussing more effective treatments and interventions in later sections of the book. Personal stories and case studies. In The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel Kolk enriches his scientific and theoretical discourse with a myriad of personal stories and case studies. These narratives serve as powerful illustrations of how trauma manifests in diverse ways and the challenges individuals face in their healing journeys. Each story not only humanizes the impact of trauma, but also sheds light on the complex pathways to recovery. One poignant example is the story of a veteran haunted by memories of war. This case highlights how trauma can lead to debilitating flashbacks, nightmares, and a sense of constant danger, severely disrupting daily life. Kolk uses this story to discuss the challenges veterans face in reintegrating into civilian life and the often inadequate support systems available to them. This narrative underscores the need for specialized approaches to treat PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, in military personnel. Another compelling case involves a young woman who experienced prolonged childhood abuse. Her story reveals how early trauma can lead to a range of issues in adulthood, including difficulties in forming secure attachments, self-destructive behaviors, and complex emotional responses. Kolk uses this case to explore the long-term effects of childhood trauma and the importance of addressing such experiences to foster healing and prevent the cycle of trauma from continuing. Kolk also includes the story of a child who witnesses domestic violence. This case study demonstrates how even indirect exposure to traumatic events can profoundly affect a child's development, leading to issues like anxiety, aggression, and difficulties in learning and social interactions. The narrative emphasizes the critical need for early intervention and support for children in traumatic environments. These personal stories are complemented by discussions of various therapeutic approaches used in these cases, including traditional psychotherapy, body-centered therapies, and innovative methods like MDR. Through these narratives, Kolk showcases the resilience of the human spirit and the potential for healing, even in the face of severe and long-standing trauma. The inclusion of these personal stories and case studies in the body keeps the score serves a dual purpose. It provides tangible context to the complex concepts discussed and highlights the individualized nature of trauma and its treatment. These narratives are central to the book's message. Understanding trauma requires looking beyond symptoms and diagnoses to the whole person and their unique experience. Trauma in children and adolescents. In The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel Kolk provides an insightful examination of the effects of trauma on children and adolescents. He emphasizes that traumatic experiences during these critical developmental stages can have far-reaching consequences, affecting not just emotional health but also cognitive and social development. Kolk explains that children and adolescents are particularly vulnerable to trauma because their brains are still developed. Traumatic events can disrupt this development, leading to difficulties in learning, forming relationships, and managing emotions. He points out that childhood trauma often results in a heightened state of alertness, making it hard for young people to feel safe and concentrate in environments like school. A significant portion of this section is dedicated to discussing attachment theory and its relevance to understanding trauma in children. Kolk underscores the importance of a secure attachment in early life and how traumatic experiences such as abuse or neglect can lead to attachment disorders. These disorders can manifest as difficulty trusting others, forming healthy relationships, or a pervasive sense of insecurity. Kolk also addresses the unique challenges in identifying and treating trauma in children and adolescents. He notes that young individuals might not have the language or emotional awareness to articulate their experiences, making it crucial for caregivers and professionals to recognize nonverbal signs of trauma. Symptoms such as aggression, withdrawal, or unexplained physical complaints are often manifestations of underlying traumatic stress. The book highlights the need for trauma-informed approaches in schools, healthcare, and social services to better support young people. Kolk advocates for interventions that are sensitive to the developmental needs of children and adolescents, emphasizing the role of supportive relationships, safe environments, and creative therapies in facilitating healing and resilience. In sum, The Body Keeps the Score sheds light on the profound impact trauma can have on the youngest members of society. It calls for a compassionate and informed approach to addressing the needs of traumatized children and adolescents, recognizing the critical role of early intervention in shaping their future well-being. Traditional and non-traditional treatment methods. In The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel van der Kolk offers a comprehensive overview of both traditional and non-traditional methods used in treating trauma. He evaluates the strengths and limitations of conventional treatments, like psychotherapy and medication, while also advocating for more holistic and innovative approaches. Van der Kolk discusses traditional psychotherapy, including cognitive behavioral therapy and talk therapy, as standard treatments for trauma. He acknowledges their effectiveness in helping individuals understand and process their experiences. However, he also points out that these methods often focus primarily on cognitive aspects and might not fully address the somatic and emotional dimensions of trauma. The use of pharmacotherapy, mainly antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, is also examined. Van der Kolk notes that while these can be helpful in managing symptoms, they do not necessarily address the root cause of trauma and can sometimes lead to dependency or side effects. Moving to non-traditional approaches, Van der Kolk highlights the importance of incorporating the body into trauma treatment. He advocates for methods like eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which involves processing traumatic memories while focusing on external stimuli. This method has shown efficacy in reducing the intensity of traumatic memories. Yoga and mindfulness practices are presented as vital tools in helping individuals reconnect with their bodies and regulate their emotional states. Van der Kolk emphasizes that trauma survivors often feel disconnected from their bodies, and practices like yoga can aid in restoring a sense of control and presence. Neurofeedback is another innovative approach discussed. This technique involves training the brain to alter its electrical activity, potentially helping to calm overactive neural circuits associated with trauma. Van der Kolk also addresses the role of creative therapies such as art, music, and drama therapy. These methods can provide alternative ways for individuals to express and process their experiences, especially when words are insufficient. Throughout this section, Van der Kolk underlines the need for personalized treatment plans, recognizing that trauma affects individuals differently. He advocates for an integrated approach that combines both traditional and non-traditional methods, tailored to the unique needs of each individual. In conclusion, The Body Keeps the Score presents a multifaceted view of trauma treatment. Van der Kolk's exploration of various therapeutic approaches reflects his holistic perspective on healing and underscores the importance of addressing the mind, body, and spirit in the journey towards recovery. Implications for society and future directions. In The Body Keeps the Score, Bessel van der Kolk not only addresses the individual impact of trauma, but also explores its broader implications for society. He emphasizes that trauma is not just a personal health issue, but a societal one, affecting various aspects of communal life, including education, healthcare, and the criminal justice system. Van der Kolk points out that many societal challenges, such as homelessness, addiction, and violence, are often rooted in unresolved trauma. He argues for a greater societal recognition of trauma's impact, advocating for public policies and systems that are trauma-informed. This involves creating environments in schools, workplaces, and community services that recognize and respond to the effects of trauma in a supportive and non-judgmental way. The book also discusses the economic burden of untreated trauma, highlighting the cost to healthcare systems and society at large. Van der Kolk suggests that investing in effective trauma treatment and prevention strategies can lead to significant long-term savings and improved community well-being. Looking towards future directions, Kolk calls for more research and understanding the complexities of trauma, including its intergenerational effects and how different people respond to traumatic events. He advocates for continued exploration into innovative treatment methods, emphasizing the need for treatments that are accessible and effective for diverse populations. Kolk also highlights the importance of education and training for professionals who work with trauma survivors, such as teachers, healthcare providers, and law enforcement officers. He suggests that a deeper understanding of trauma among these professionals can lead to more compassionate and effective support for those affected. In summary, The Body Keeps the Score underscores the need for a societal shift in how trauma is understood and addressed. Kolk envisions a future where trauma-informed care is the norm, not the exception, leading to a more empathetic and resilient society. His call to action is clear: recognizing and effectively treating trauma is essential for the health and well-being of individuals and communities alike. Conclusion: The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel Kolk is a seminal work that profoundly changes our understanding of trauma and its treatment. Kolk combines scientific research, clinical expertise, and compassionate storytelling to illuminate the deep and lasting impact of trauma on individuals and society. He advocates for a holistic approach to treatment, one that integrates mind, body, and emotion, offering hope and pathways for healing. This book is not just a resource for those working with trauma survivors. It's a crucial read for anyone seeking to understand the complex interplay between our experiences, our biology, and our behavior. Kolk's work is a call to action, urging society to acknowledge and address trauma with empathy, understanding, and effective, informed